bring home those books every day. When I was in high school, probably a sophomore in high school, I got really bad grades in junior high, high school. I had horrible grades. I cheated up through a junior in high school, and I really struggled with lessons. Anyway, so I think it was my sophomore year. I believe it was my sophomore year or my junior year. I believe it was my sophomore year. I was getting bad grades, and my mom, of course, she would go to the to that thing called parent teachers conference, and she would find out how crappy I was doing, and she'd come home and say, what can we do to help you? You need to get those grades up, and you know, what do you need to do? And you need to bring home your studies. And she'd kind of give me a butt chewing all the time. Not really bad, but it made me feel bad because I just had a hard time learning the way they taught. My attention was really short, and it was tough for me to, you know, stay up with them. Let alone I was left a long time ago in probably first grade. Horrible. I never hardly ever read anything. I had a horrible time in math. It was just horrible. But anyway, I was doing bad in my school class. I was probably getting some C's and D's or whatever. And my dad got mad at me. He says, I want you to bring home those books every night. You make sure you bring home those books every night and you get those grades up. Well, funny thing is, I'll tell you a little bit about this, but I felt really bad, so I started bringing home those books every night in my backpack. Every night I'd bring home, he says, you bring home those books every night. So every night I brought home my books in the backpack. I'd take them off, I'd put them in the corner, and then I put them back on, I put the backpack on in the morning, and I'd take them back to school. And then he would say to me, are you bringing home those books every night? I'd say, yep, I'm bringing those books home every night. That's what I was doing. I brought them home in my backpack, I put them in the corner, never study, never open them up, go motorcycle ride and go do something else, go hike and go out and do whatever with my friends, put them back on my back in the afternoon, and I would take them back to school the next day. So I always brought my books home every night. And my dad used to get pretty pissed off at me about my grades. He was always saying, you need to get those grades up, but he never really helped me get them up. He didn't know how to help me. I don't know. I think at this point he didn't know how. I didn't know this, but I don't think he knew how to help me. So he was always on me on my grades quite a bit. And my mom would get after me quite a bit too. And I would get after myself, but I don't know, I didn't really care that much about it. And plus it was so frustrating. And then people who would teach me would be impatient with me. So I didn't like it I never have liked it if I've asked somebody how to do something, to teach me how to do a particular thing, to teach me something. And then if they're impatient, I just shut right down and I just say, I don't want to learn it from you anyway. Anyway, so later on I was going through all his memorabilia as he was getting older, and I ran across all of his junior high and high school grades, and they were horrible. They were horrible C's and D's. They were horrible grades, horrible. Anyway, it was just funny, but he'd get after me. I think he wanted me to get better grades, but he didn't know how to help me get better grades. I'm the same way with my kids in this sense. I just tell them, hey, work hard, do the best you can. If you get A's, great. If you get B's, that's okay. If you get C's, I don't really care. If you get D's, I don't care that much. If D's is the best you can get, then you just do the best you can. And see if you can find a tutor or help. Because I can't really help my kids with their lessons. But I don't put a lot of pressure on my kids to get straight A's. My wife does more of that. She puts more pressure on them to get straight A's. And several of them have, but I think sometimes pushing kids to get straight A's can be overly pressuring. Plus, my other opinion of having kids come home from school is and then do a whole bunch of homework after they get home from school. I think it's crazy. So anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute.